The Indiana Pacers, your old team, surprised a lot of folks by taking the Miami Heat to 6 games in the playoffs last spring. But a lot of people look at that roster and wonder, well, how much better can they get? So I put it to you, how much better can they get?
I think they're just scratching the surface and the ceiling of their talent. I think confidence-wise, going 6 games with the chance, the Miami Heat will help this ball club. They made 2 huge moves there in re-signing George Hill and Roy Hibbert. Some people say they may have overpaid for Roy Hibbert, but there's not a lot of big bodies left in the NBA, and this is a guy that takes up a lot of space, blocks shots, and can score down low. So it was huge re-signing those things. In is Donnie Walsh, out as the executive of the year last year, and Larry Bird. Donnie Walsh is coming back to a place that he's had so much success. The Indiana Pacers, they're knocking on the door. And with Derrick Rose being down with a knee injury, I look for the Pacers to win that Central Division.
How do they take the next step when it comes to the playoffs?
Well, Paul George is going to have to step up and play huge. This is an up-and-coming young player at that shooting guard position. He's so talented. He can score. He can get in the open court. He's a great finisher. And I think David West is going to be huge. He's that veteran leadership that Frank Vogel is probably clamoring for. He settles down the bigs. Danny Granger is going to have to try to find that all-star form that he had a couple seasons ago. But to me, this Indiana Pacer team, other than maybe Miami, this is the scariest team in the Eastern Conference.
You mentioned Danny Granger, and for a couple of years there, he was the best player on a so-so team. Now he's a very good player and the leading scorer on a very good team. What are his new responsibilities now in terms of winning games on a nightly basis and then ultimately carrying them a little further in the playoffs?
Well, certainly on nights, offensively, he can carry this ball club. But I think what will suit Danny and suit the Pacers will him being more of a complementary player. I think they really need to focus on getting the ball to Roy Hibbert and developing Paul George. Not to say anything disparaging against Danny Granger, but in a supporting role with those other 2 players, I think that's what suits him best and suits the Pacers best.